Morning, Mr. K.
Yeah, morning, Eric.
Yeah. Today we talk about something related to technology. In my opinion, mm, yeah, it is regarding to technology. And okay, have you watched the video and also read the article that written by
Yep.
Bill Gates?
Yes.
Yeah. And this is a book, and the book name is called 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. And the author is really famous. The name of the author is, I forget the full name, but I call him
Ferrari.
yeah Harari. Yeah. And this is not the first this is not the first time I watch this video, and also this is not the first time I know the I know the existence of this book. And this book published in 2018. Yeah. And when book published in 2018, it could be written fully written in 2017. And then you need to go through the audit, you need to go through the edit, and you need to like rearrange the chapter, all those things, check the grammar, and then finally publish in 2018. And before this book, the author had another two books. One is called is called the Sapiens, and in Chinese is also the book name translated to Chinese is called 人类简史. It's also very famous. I think most of the book lover will definitely heard this book before. And the second book is called the Homo Deus. Translate into Chinese, it's called the 未来监视. Yeah. And so this is his third book. Yeah. And this latest book written in maybe finished in 2017 and published in 2018. And yeah, I think I first learned this book. I watched the book review and also some YouTube regarding the summary of this book is 2 years or 3 years ago. And for the link, the YouTube, the book summary video link, this is also not the first time I watched this video. I watched this video maybe 2-3 years ago. And at that time, it actually put a seed in my mind, which is, wow, AI is so powerful. And our job really is going to be replaced by AI. But it's just a seed in my mind. And after a few years, now I look back and then I rewatch this video, and also I also try to find some book summary. Yeah, this is the book I definitely will read again. And actually, in the past, I also had tried to read the book, but I didn't finish all. I just finished. I just read like the first 2 or 3 chapters. And this is a book I definitely will read. Yeah, and it made me quite shocked, made me very surprised, because this is a book written in 2017. Yeah, just assume finished in 2017.
Yep.
And all the insight and all the implication, all the advice, all the thing, maybe not all, but most of the thing, it's become reality. Yeah. So, what is your overall opinion on this video?
Yeah, I think this video it is talking about this book, right? And yeah, even though this video only cover like a very little part of the whole book, but I found that yeah, like you said, the ideas, the things in the book is kind of like very uh current. Yeah, even though it is like written in 5 years ago. If I'm not wrong, this author is a historian, is it?
Mm,
And yeah, so I think he is very clear about what is happening in the past right now and has his own view of the future.
mm,
Yeah, and the things that he discussed is really uh, something that human concerns. I mean, this book our concern. Yeah, yeah. For example, we have the uh, liberalism and then being challenged. Also talk about UBI, talk about AI, and then the challenges of human dealing with AI technology.
mm.
Yep.
And actually,
Yeah, I think
yeah, just now you talk about the liberalisms. I think, are you refer to the Chinese called the 人文主义?
that is 自由主义.
Okay,
Yeah,
I got it.
yeah. Liberalism, is it something related to like uh the freedom, and then they have
Mm,
some of the aspect, some of the things they are depending on free market, something like that.
yeah,
Mm,
we believe in free market.
yeah.
But liberalism, I think, is more extreme. They believe in the what is it called, the anarchy, or what is it called? They believe we don't need the government, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
So yeah, go ahead.
Mm, yep. And yeah, I think there are a few things we can relate back to what we have discussed in the past. For example, UBI and then AI, these kind of things. Yep. And also something like uh, the technology advance, and then the problems that it caused. For example, like the problems of climate change, something like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would like to specifically talk about the job loss, because I think
Mm.
this is so deep and the effect is so profound.
Yeah. To everyone, right? Almost.
Mm. And in the past, like the agriculture evolution and also the industrialization, we actually replace machine, replace machines, and replace uh sorry, I mean uh replace humans' physical ability
Mm.
to the machines, and also
Yeah.
to some some tools, yeah, by using
Mm.
technology.
Yeah.
So
Labor work.
yeah, it's labor work. So for example, previously, okay, I think in the past we discussed one topic, which is it's kind of like um we can use like kinetic, human can use a kinetic to light the light bulbs,
Mm.
is it?
Yep.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
keep stepping the maybe the the small, what is it
Something
called,
like
the
a
a footstep
panel
is
or what?
something. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, something like that. And then you turn the kinetic energy to the electricity. And in the past, we really do things like this, but we do in a smarter way. We kind of like we use fire. We burn the wood. We burn the coal. Of course, now we still burn the coal.
Mm.
Maybe in the past we only burn the woods and then we get the fire.
Mm.
Yeah. So we get the fire, which is something like the chemical energy.
Yep.
Yeah, and then after sometimes we learn how to use the water. We just know how to just a hydro to turn the hydro into the energy.
Mm.
And we also learn how to use the geothermal energy, and we also uh, yeah, now we know how to use maybe the hydrocarbons, which is the oil, the natural gas. Yeah, we know how to use these
Mm.
to turn it into energy. But in the
Yep.
past, we don't have the technology and we have no idea how to turn the oil into energy.
Mm.
And then what we do is to kill the whale in the sea, and then extract the whale oil.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even before that, we don't know the usage of the oil. Yeah. And we have no electricity. We cannot like store the oil, and then when we need when we need the light, and then we just burn the oil, and then we don't know of this thing. And then so every time we need the light, we have to find some wood to burn. And then after we learn how to use the oil, we learn how to use the natural gas to turn it into electricity. And then it also has a problem because we don't know how to store it. We can store the oil, yeah, but how do we store the energy? How can we store the electricity? And then we have battery. So technology is keep improving, and then you can foresee there's one day we don't need to burn the oil. We don't need to extract the natural gas, and we don't need to burn the coal. We don't need to do something bad to the environment. What we need is the solar energy, because you can think in this way: solar energy, the sun energy, is actually the ultimate energy for every living thing in the earth. Plants, they can turn the sun energy, solar energy, to let themselves grow. And an animal eat a plant. An animal can use use the energy in the plant and turn this into their energy, and then they can grow, and then they grow bigger. And human, we eat plants, we eat animal, we turn this into our energy.
Yep.
Yeah, and you can call this is maybe the biological energy, or you can call it the chemical energy. Up to you. And then when we are full, when we don't need to concern about the food, we can spend our time into working on something, improve our productivity. Yeah. So, and then we create a lot of things. We invent a lot of things. Oil. Yeah. We also invent. We also like invent the airplanes. in the past, how can you travel to another country? How can you travel maybe from, let's say, from US to China or from US to Malaysia? Take ship, yeah, this is so risky. Yeah, to cross the ocean is very, very risky. And but plane is much less risk.
Faster.
Yeah, and also so what make the airplanes? Aluminums. Yeah, aluminums. If we don't have aluminums, we don't have airplanes. And how about the cities? If we don't have the steel, we wouldn't have cities. You can use iron to build the cities, but it's going to erode, it's going to break after some time. But if you use a steel, it can last forever if you well maintain the steel.
Yeah.
You give it the paint, you don't let it like erode. And yeah, so we create a lot of things. And all this thing is a technology. And in the past, when we invent something new and then we actually free out our time, free out of energy, free out of labor in doing physical things. But now, the AI is going to replace our cognitive abilities. So nowadays, most of our job is actually using our brain to do. Of course, there are still many of the jobs still using their physical ability. But the AI now is going to replace almost every job. Yeah. And if you give AI enough time, it can really replace every job, every human job. Yeah. So this is really maybe for many people this is a very terrible thing. Okay, but the job loss, what makes the job loss is the technology. But what makes the technology growing so fast, exponentially fast? This is a question.
Yep, I think is there are two. And first is like maybe the capitalists, they want to make money so that they creating something which can provide value to the to the consumer. And the other is from the consumer side, which is like you can imagine, you can think like all the human in the world, we are we have the desire to like live better. We need improvement. We like better life, so we need to like improve, and we accept newer things, something like that. So there is a pull and a push strength here.
Yeah. And but okay, so when we talk about job losses, so what if there is a large scale of job losses occurs? What will happen?
Yeah, they will have some social unrest in the society, and then government have to deal with that. And yeah, I think maybe this they will consider UBI as one of the method, because what human actually want is like they're afraid they lose their job so that they couldn't survive. So the bottom line is survival, I think. So if they can give money, they can provide the income, the UBI basic income to the people, maybe they can solve the unrest.
Yeah, but I understand this. And okay, I think what I want to discuss is, okay, because you see, we have something like a loops here. So capitalists, why they become capitalists? Maybe they get some money, they provide some value, and they earn some money. And then when they accumulate enough capital and they invent something, and they provide even more value to society, and society buy the bill, and then they get more money.
Yep.
So they invent more. And but who pay the bill? And why they have the money to pay the bill? Consumer, the worker, the people who work, why they have money? The money, maybe this is their employment income.
Yep.
So who give them the income? And then, so when they have the income, they buy the product. Okay. And when they buy the product, and then the company earn the money, and they have money to invent new technology. But you see, when they invent something, the productivity increase and the price reduce. They don't need so much worker. So worker reduce, and machine, the capital goods increase, and less worker. And workers should have less income. When workers should have less income, how they're going to buy the product of the company?
Yep.
Yeah, so when there's a large scales of job loss, can company really survive?
Yeah, because like I say, it is a loop, it is a cycle. The money comes from the consumer. The consumer, we say the majority of the consumer is actually the worker, the employee. And yeah, if they didn't work, they lose their job. The labor market being affected, the salary decrease. I think it's bad for the every parties in the cycle.
I think it's not bad for everyone because our overall productivity increased. We just don't need human involved in the production. Machine can do the job. If machine can do the job, why you want to let human spend their limited time to do the work? And also, if you use machine to produce it, the cost is lesser. Just like, for example, you can create your own electricity, or you can buy a solar panel and plug it into a battery, and then put on top of the roof. Yeah, and when the sun shines and you have energy, or you want to buy something like a bicycle, and then the bicycle can plug into a battery, and then you ride the bicycle, and then you generate your own electricity by using the kinetic energy. Which one is more efficient? Which one will you prefer?
Yep. Yeah, the previous one.
Yeah, and think in this way. We work and then we get the money. We get the money, we buy the food. What if food is free now? Just like the solar panel. Just like the solar energy. And yeah, but of course, in future, if everyone being replaced by AI, we don't need human, and the worker leave the company, and the company still can run. But the problem is, how can majority of them buy the product? Yeah, how the company earn the money? So where the money come from? Capitalists give the majority of money, and then let them have the money to buy. Is going to work?
Okay, you say give money to who?
To majority of people.
Yeah, then it is quite strange, right? Give the money to them if I buy my own product. What do you mean?
It's going to work? Not going to work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to work. And so how the company survive?
Yep.
So this is the end stage. And how about right now? Yeah, if right now we still haven't fully been replaced by AI, but a lot of jobs also being replaced already, and then the worker find a new job, they kind of like relearn new skills, and then they put themselves back to the employment, back to the labor market. So the economy keep running, and then when they lose their job, they reshape themselves. Then after their skill level can make money, can generate income, back into the labor market.
Yep.
But the innovation and the technology keep improving exponentially. The pace is going to be faster and faster until a day large scale job losses occurs, and this group of people is not going to find any job. And also you can see the labor market become more competitive. Why it become more competitive? Because many of the job position already being replaced by machine, by AI, by computer, by software, and they don't need that much person. They don't need that much people. And the people who lose their job, they reshape their skill, they learn something, and then they come and like fight the job, compete the job with you. So you feel competition. And then so why we doing something like this? What make us keep doing something like this? And company is not easy. Company also need to keep going forward, otherwise they will just fall behind.
Yep. Other company compete with them.
Yeah. So what's your opinion? Let's say if we already foresee in the future the end state is like this, is such terrible, why every of us still keep focus on this direction, keep working on this direction?
Yeah, I think job losses is not something majority of people like to see. I think include the maybe include the government at this moment, and on the other side, which is the capitalist. Yeah, to them, I think to use AI, yeah, I think maybe they uh, at this moment, I think they still facing many challenges or uncertainty, which is like after they replace human labor with AI, and then yeah, how this system is going to work or not work. I think there is a lot of uncertainty uh, and challenges they need to face. Maybe the government will interfere uh, first, and then maybe they limit what the capitalists can do, what kind of AI they can use. Uh, the transition period, the transition, uh, I think it could last for many years before we really reach like human doesn't have to work. Uh, we find a solution for this system. Yeah, and it works well for the capitalists. It also works well for the government, uh, for the majority of people.
Yeah, so largely depend on the government, is it?
Yeah.
Mm, yeah. So what if there's no government?
There is no government, and then um, yeah, will it be a situation like the rich versus the poor? The rich is the minority, but they have many technology, many high-tech machine, and the other side is the poor. Uh, Basically, they are normal people, human, and then uh, yeah, I think these two side of people, maybe they will have to reach something like an equilibrium, a balance. Yep.
But how rich people can be still rich if everyone's if technology make everything abundant? Now energy is free, electricity is free. You can produce your own food. You can produce your own water. You know,
Yep.
if you can generate free electricity, you can do anything you can imagine. Because
Mm,
energy is the ultimate resources.
mm, yep.
Mm.
I think one thing in the video is like there's the question about the terms universal and the terms basic, yeah, which
No,
is
I mean,
when we talk
no,
about.
don't jump to that topic first. Yeah, just focus on this. What make the job loss? What create all these things? Mm.
Um,
Okay, for
mm,
example, try to think. Let's say we are still in the agriculture era.
yeah.
Some rich guy, they have large piece of land, right?
Mm,
And some poor guy, maybe they don't have land or they have just small piece of land. Can they survive? They must able to survive, right?
yeah, they can grow the plants by their own.
Yeah. Otherwise, uh, we wouldn't have like 7 or 8 billion of people in the world. people will find a way to survive, right?
Yes.
They won't sit there and sit there and just die, starve to die. They will try to do something. And if you say the rich is the minority, and the rich control large piece of land, and poor is the majority, and poor don't have large piece of land, what will happen in your opinion?
Yeah. They will fight for what they can get. Reduce this kind of inequality of wealth.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah, this is the first principle, and this is the law, the natural law. You couldn't ignore the law. The minority of rich, they didn't benefit from this situation. And what if there is no government? Will the free market make the rich become richer and the poor become poorer, and the poor start to die? If we have a totally free market, no government involved, will this kind of situation end up like this?
I think it is there is possibility, but not very high. It
But
can happen. For example, they use the robot. If they have really high technology, the robots can like kill the people, kill other people. Yeah, they can kill many, and then
they can kill billion and billion of people. But at the end, rich people only left rich people, and they only left robots. There's no other people. They need to rely on robot to produce everything. Is it good? It's really good for them. Or they give up a small portion of their wealth. Let the poor live well and keep producing, so they can do nothing. Yeah, try to imagine now you are in a forest. You meet one guy and you are very, very fit, and let's say another is a girl. You definitely can kill her because it's in the forest and nobody see, and it's a girl. And if you let them stay, and she will eat the food, she will kind of like compete with you because she needs to survive. You have two choices. First, you can kill her, so you own all of the resources in the forest. Or second, you cooperate with her. Yeah, you cooperate with her, and then you find the fish. Maybe she find the fruit, and then you build a house together. You do something together, because only you, the only one person in the forest, you can die at any time. If you are careless about maybe a snake, maybe some other dangerous animal. Try to imagine if you try to grab some fruits, you climb the tree and then you accidentally fall down. Yeah, you fall down, then you die. You are going to die. And maybe you broke your leg. And if you broke your leg, how can you find the food? How can you find the food for next meal? So this cooperation.
Yeah, but in this case, after we have like the robots, the technology is so advanced. The so-called the poor, the majority, what
Yeah,
can
you are
they
right.
contribute, right?
You are right. But what make this? What make them? What make them don't need to pass all this transition and directly reach on the robot? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't. The
Okay.
transition is
Okay. Now let's say if aliens come to the world, come to our Earth, and then they want to give a mess to the Earth. What they'll do, they give some robot to a minority of people, and then the minority of people, they don't need the rest of the majority because they have the robots. They can use robot to kill everyone, and then they own all the resources. It could be the case, but what makes them have the robots? If there's no AI, if there's no alien give them, what pushed the technology? Can the rich people, just few people, create a whole can just few people make the phones, make the smartphones nowadays we are using? Can just few people make the car we are using right now? Can just few people really build the machine to build the robot? How are they going to do that? If there's no robot help them to build robots, they have to build the first robot by themselves first.
Yep.
So what makes them? What makes the situation like this? What push the technology going forward, and the rich guy are able to build the robots that they couldn't build in the free market because the market equilibrium will restrict their ability to do that. They don't have enough profits to do that. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is a question we have to think. What what make the situation like this? Yeah, and I have a lot of things want to discuss for today, so
Yep.
I would like to skip to another topic. Of course,
All right.
I have answer for the question just now. Yeah, but never mind. Just jump to the next thing. And okay, and in the article that written by the Bill Gates, in 2018.
Yep.
And okay, there are something that I learned from this, which is even the richest man in the guy, even the richest guy in the earth, it could be the one of the genius, very very smart people, but they also couldn't foresee how the world will look like in future, and they have the idea in their mind is actually not that clear, and compared to the author and the Bill Gates write in 2018, which is the article, the Bill Gates says he don't agree three things with the author. The first one is the data will become the most important asset, and more important than the land, more important than the machinery. And Bill Gates say that land is still important because we have so many labor, we have so many people.
Yeah.
So land is still important, but look at nowadays, we have 3D printing. We can print the house, and we can print the house layer and layer, and we also can we build the house higher and higher and higher and higher, and people move to the cities. Land land is important, but land in the cities is important. Land is a rural area is not important. Yeah, and machinery. Yeah, machinery is also important. Okay, but data seems like the most important assets nowadays. And also, just like the author said that data is the most important asset and separate the rich, the minority of rich, and the rest of people. Yeah, it become true. It become the reality already. Look at the top internet company. They own our data. Then they own lot and lot of data, ton and tons of data, and then yeah, they can produce everything. They can use the data to feed the AI. And data really become the most important asset. Yeah, no doubt. And the second thing the Bill Gates said about the data and the privacy, the Bill Gates viewpoint is, for example, the shoemaker, they can only get our shoe, they can only get our foot site, they can only maybe get our name. Also, yeah. And energy company maybe can get how much energy, how much utility, how much electricity we spend each month. This is also data.
Yeah, our address.
And it is separated. This is unlikely they will cooperate together. This is right. But now we don't need cooperation. Internet company, they own almost every aspect of ourselves.
Yeah.
The internet company know us more than ourselves. Yeah. So because all of us rely on the internet, yeah, we cannot live without internet. And the company, we use their service, and they can see our data. Yeah. So it's not just one company. Yeah. Almost every internet company, they can get our data. Like Facebook, Google, or e-commerce company like Taobao or Lazada, Shopee. Yeah. Or other services like GrabCar. Other like the for example, like e-wallet, for example, Touch and Go. They understand us more than ourselves. They can even calculate the risk and lend money to us and give our some promotions. Yeah. And you look at China, the Alipay or the Alibaba, one of the company and one of the apps is like I think it is in Chinese it's called like the Huabei, something like that. And yeah, the Alibaba and also the internet company can lend you the money, and they perform more efficiently and more effectively than the bank because they have your own they have your data, and they understand you more than the bank know you. And so we have the fintech industry is one of the most popular industry nowadays. Yeah. And even the small apps, yeah, for example, on the phones or on your computer, they can try to access the data that's stored in your computer.
Yep.
So there is a privacy issue. So this is something Bill Gates could understand in 2018. Now everyone understand. Of course, Bill Gates understand this more than us because he's the founder or the head of the top company, Microsoft. Yeah, of course now he understands this more than every of us. But even the smartest guy, even the richest guy in 2018 couldn't really figure out, couldn't like really understand this idea. And the third thing that Bill Gates say in this article is the community. The social media contribute the political polarization. And Bill Gates think it's not wise to say this. Yeah, the social media, of course, they make this happen, but they also create the opportunity for us to make the world better. Yeah, and we can connect ourselves with our friends, with our family. So Bill Gates disagree that social media replaced the friendship, but actually this is true. If we look back now, 5 years later, yeah, now social media really, and of course, yeah, social media has a benefit, but because and yeah, and also it have the it allow you to connect yourself with a family, with a friend. But nowadays we spend so much time on the internet, and the consequence is we ignore our family and ignore our friends. We don't have the real interaction, we don't have the real communication. So is this kind of friendship the friendship on social media really the friendship? Yeah, how the quality? Yeah. So yeah, these three things the Bill Gates yeah, it's actually very, very surprised me. Yeah. And first thing is surprise that not many people know this, and few of the people, like the author, can see the future, can really see the futures. Yeah, it's amazing, you know.
Yeah.
And also, it gives me the sense that how history is so important. Yeah, how important the history.
Yeah.
And yeah, go to the next point I want to discuss, which is about the solution. Actually, there are three solutions. The first is a UBI that you mentioned just now. But try to imagine, can UBI really work? Look at Americans. Look at the US. Last year, 2020, it actually is a form of UBI. The government print, the central bank print tons of money, and government finance the finance fiscal spending, giving the stimulus to every citizen, which finance from the central bank. But is it work? Can it do this forever? And also, you need to understand that we are not like jump from the state, jump 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 from one state, which we don't have robot, and to another stage, which is the end stage. Yeah, we suddenly build a lot of robots. It's not like this. We have the transition. Yeah, and there's a long way to go. And what is the point? What is the point where this method is not going to work, and you cannot use this method to pass through the transitions? For example, nowadays we don't have too many robots. Yeah, Tesla don't even start to build a robot, and in many industry we still rely on human. Of course we have a lot of machinery, but we still rely a lot of humans. Yeah, but do you think large scale job loss will occur only after commercialization of robot? Of in the in this journey we will already experience large scale job loss when new and new technology being invented?
Yeah. Do you mean that after the commercialization of the robot, then the large scale job losses will start to occur?
Yeah, or the large scale job losses will from now will start to occur?
Yeah, I think it is large scale.
How large is
It is-
it? Maybe 5%, 10% is large enough.
Yeah, I think it's yeah, a little by a little, like 5%.
Yeah, and suddenly become 10% and become 15%, become 20, and become maybe 40, 50. Yeah, and we still have minority of people can keep their job until the AI replace their job, right?
Yes.
It's not like we don't have any think our AI is still in the beginning stage, and we only publish it, we only commercialize after it can replace every of our job. It's not like this, right?
Yeah.
So can UBI work in the transitions? If you cannot pass through the transition, you couldn't see the end stage. It's not a viable solution, right? So how to pass through the transition? Can UBI really work?
Yeah, I think for this one we need to look at what incentive to the government to do that, right? Because government, I think they still have the right to like interfere the capitalist, the usage, the application of robot. They still can interfere because if we need UBI and it's the government need to do the spending, even though the money comes from the people, but the spending part is you can say they can print money, but what incentive for them to do that?
Social unrest. They want to keep their job.
Yeah.
If they don't print, people ask them to leave and vote another leader, go on the stage and print.
Yep, I also think of this, which is like the people go and protest, and then they have no other better solution, so that they do that.
Yeah. And when government print money and give money to other people, will people still work?
Yep, I think people will still work, but maybe not long hours.
Yeah. So if they so this is a really tricky question, because how can government really find a point which is the improvement in the productivity really offset the additional money they print and give into a system, give to the citizen, and then some of them don't want to work anymore, and some of them don't work anymore. That means the overall economic productivity reduced because they didn't utilize the human resources. So this part of losses must be offset by the improvement of technology, increase the productivity. How can you find the balance? And how can you really know that how much people are still working, or they just don't work? And now we still don't have the robots operate the machine, We still need human quite a lot of time. And which group of people will not do the work if they have the choice, if they can receive the UBI? Which group of people they will not work?
Yeah, I think firstly is the group of people whose job is mainly like labor, those blue collars, because
Yeah.
even they couldn't find the job.
Yeah. And
Yep.
is our current technology can really replace them? Quite difficult, right?
Yep.
Like the truck driver, or like the in transportation, or the stockkeeper. How can you move the stock? Yeah, of course. In a very giga company or giant company, maybe they already replace it. They use a machine they use a robot to take the pallets down, and yeah, but most of the company don't have that don't have that capital to build the facilities.
Mm.
And when you say large scales of job loss, yeah, and what do we mean large scales of job loss? It's not every company still exists, and every company replace humans to robots, to machine. It's not like this, right? Initially got 100 company, now we only need one company. 99 of the company just disappear, just go bankrupt.
Yep.
Just shut down, and now we only need one company, and the one company can produce a product that can fit the demands. Can supply the goods that equal to the remaining that equal to the rest of the 99 company produce. We only need one company can produce the remaining 99 company production.
Yeah. Is it in the transition, and the rest of the 99 is kind of like couldn't compete, because in the transition, some bigger and better, richer company, they have better technology, they have the greatest productivity, efficiency, so that the other couldn't compete and then leave the market.
Yeah, you are right. So large scale job losses occurred like this. It's not occurred like every of the company still exists and they replace human to machinery. No, machinery is very expensive. Robot technology is very expensive. Only few top company can do that. But we just only need few top. We just need few of them, because few of them can already produce everything for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So this is a problem. And also think another way. You have tons of money, and then the company produce the goods, and then who provide the material to the company to produce the goods? It's another industry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And at the end, you will trace back to the natural extraction industry, right? So natural resources extraction industry. Am I correct?
Yeah, you mean they're not going to disappear, right? Those industry, they are providing the material.
And how to replace this industry, natural resources extractions? Use robots. How do you dig into dig the hole and then find a new resources, find a new maybe find a new oil, find a new material, find more supply of the material, find more oil. Maybe you want to build plastic need oil, and if let's say you want to build the wood, you need to cut the tree.
Yep.
All these things.
Yeah.
Is it sustainable? Yeah. And first question, is it sustainable? And the second question is, how do you replace this industry? Yeah.
Yeah, I think this industry will not may not necessarily being replaced
No, I
because
mean,
you can think of
yeah,
yeah.
it's going to replace, but in short runs and in medium terms, it's not going to be so easily to replace. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's say we have two industry. One is the material provider, and the other one is the manufacturer. And if, we treat them as two industry, and yeah, each industry they have the kind of like the biggest one, the top one, the giant. And then when in the transition, they will invest in the robot, the highest technology, so that I don't think in the cross industry competition they can like really so easily outperform. For example, the manufacturer industry, even they have a lot of money, they can also invest in the robot to get their own material. But how about the competition from the industry in the raw material? Yeah, they also have the giant they also invest in. And yeah, I think um it may maybe some of them will be replaced, but some of them maybe they found that it is still more profitable to get from like the supplier in the material industry.
No, yeah, you're right. But my question is, how about the variable cost? The variable cost of addressing the natural resources versus the variable cost of producing like the mass product. When you have the material, you build a plastic. If you have a big factories and you can automate everything, right? And the fixed cost is high, right? But the variable cost is very, very low because you just need to turn on the switch and all your machinery start working. But how about the natural resources? You need to find the steel. You need to like extract the steel. You need to find the material.
Yep.
How do you do it? For example, you need to find the oil. In one place, after the oil field have been finished, and you need to find the next potential oil field, and you need to build another infrastructure on the oil field, right?
Yeah.
And let's say you need to cut the wood. How do you cut the wood? So I mean, this kind of natural resource extraction, you can use machinery, you can use technology to improve the productivity. But the variable cost is not easy to cut, and you still need to involve in human. Yeah, because unless you have the robot can control the machine, control the threader to cut the wood, to control the threader to dig the hole, you still need labor. Yeah. And you still need like the architect, you still need engineer to build all the infrastructure, you still need labor to build the infrastructure.
Yeah, it's much more complicated than like the manufacturer, right?
Yeah, and for example, the construction industry is very difficult to be replaced by technology, because technology, unless you have the portable robot, so you can drive the portable robot to the place and then build the whole building. Yeah. So yeah, construction industry was still here to stay for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Unless maybe the humanoid robot, which is the robot like the human, can walk, can really function like the human, replace all the worker. But it is it's also one of the things Tesla is trying to do. Yeah. So that's my question is, if you use a UBI to give your citizens this money, and would that really work? And also, by considering more and more jobs going to be replaced, and if you want to go into labor market again, they want to relearn the skill. Of course, you say, yeah, government can give like the subsidies, can give some punishment. If you learn the skill, I give you money. If you don't learn the skill, I don't give you money. Yeah, government definitely can do that. And yeah, in this case, if government really do well, really control well, we can really transit into the end stage. Yeah, really. But during the transition, the government will gain more and more and more power. They have more authority over individual. And individual can only abide the rules set by government. They don't they lose the freedoms. Yeah. So yeah. So I think UBI, it may work. It may work, but it also will create other problems. Yeah. Yeah, I think the time is getting too late. So maybe we stop it here. If you have anything want to discuss, maybe in the review section.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Yeah, talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.